Okay, brand and trust. So I put here quite simply, people don't buy when uncertainty exists. And earlier on, if you're watching the whole playbook, I kind of touched on that Amazon kind of whole thing around that you don't even think twice. But when you're a customer that's clicking an ad that you've never seen before from a brand that you don't know and you don't know if you can trust them, you have to fight for that trust. Now, strong brands do that with their branding as well as particular conversion elements throughout their store. So things like social proof, of course, and I'll show you some examples. But consistency builds credibility and trust drives that conversion decision. So for anyone watching this, I would say to you, go and look at your store now and imagine you are a cold consumer, and what are you doing above that fold to instill trust? Do you have a trust policy bar? Do you say how many happy customers you've served? Do you say when you were established? Do you tell your founder story? Okay, and there's so many ways that you can do this. So let's look at some examples. So this was a brand we worked with, a fantastic brand called Pom Pom London. And one thing we did for them that I think is under used from brands is we built a dedicated review page. So it was dynamic. We had all of their products at the top of the review page. And once someone would click a specific product, the reviews that we wanted them to see would then be loaded on that page. And it just really helped with that trust and social proof element. And you can see the results on here. I'm not going to touch on results massively. I put them in here so you can see them. But of course, it depends on the scale of your brand, how big they are. You know, I could have shared how much money these tests would make these brands. And, you know, it's crazy. You know, we're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of incremental uplift in revenue for implementing something like this for a brand of this size. But I know that there's going to be small brands, beginner brands, established brands, all types of brands watching this. So I don't want to focus massively on the uplift in revenue because I want to just give you a realistic outcome on, you know, some ideas of what you should be doing. So this was a really nice test for these guys. One other tip I would say with your reviews is make sure you are, again, going back to that data set and mining your reviews. So take your review platform, export your reviews into a CSV, mine them with AI. And this is what we do for brands all the time. But we say things like, find commonalities, find tone of voice, find common objections, find common likes, wants, needs. Because when you unearth these things and you start to do user interviews, let's say, for example, and I think I've got this example in here, but let's say, for an example, inside your user interviews, a lot of people said that they were unsure of buying your bag, for example, because they didn't know how tough the material was and how hard the leather was and what the longevity was going to be. Well, if you can then mine your reviews and find a review that answers that, so someone saying, I was so impressed with how tough the leather is, this bag is going to last me forever, and you can pin that testimonial right at the top of your page, it's going to turn more clicks into customers. This was an image carousel upgrade we did for the Essence Vault. So the Essence Vault, a client, we took what was their kind of normal, and what I would say is most people do is kind of very static images in the carousel, and we upgraded them focusing on that social proof and trust. So you can see the images here. We had one whole kind of testimonial image with a person within their demographics sniffing the scent. We had an actual Trustpilot review that again handled a common objection. And then we have these beautiful pictures of the bottles reminding people that they're vegan friendly. You know, all these things just help instill trust. Vegan friendly, long lasting, save money. You know, it's all about how can I win that trust and credibility of someone and prove that I'm a real brand who cares about my customer. Image carousels, by the way, guys, are so under optimized. From data, we have seen that more people will scroll through your image carousel if it's set up properly than they'll scroll through your landing page. So I would be focusing more on that than the depth of my landing page and putting things there. Like, really nice test. This was a before and after upgrade we did on the review section for this particular client. I can't remember the name of this client, but you can see the before here where they just had reviews, but no images. As soon as we introduced those images, a 26% increase in revenue per visitor going through this page, just from adding those before and after images. But you can still see how these things start to really propel the social proof. Don't just tell people, show them. Okay, so if you can get those images into your reviews, even, and this is why I don't like too many review apps, even just showing people's faces on reviews will increase your results. So really, really important one there. Leveraging undeniable visual proof to build that immediate trust and drive conversions. Really, really nice winning test here.